key features of our hybrid inverters, starting with the PV utilization. The reason we say utilization is because our inverters can take up to 200% of the PV or 200% of PV, depending on the capacity of the inverter. So if you have a 12 kilowatt, you can be able to install a 24 kilowatt peak capacity of panels and be able to utilize all of it. This one feature that is not available by another manufacturer, only by GoodWe. And the way you'll utilize it is, if you have a 12 and you do 24 kilowatt peak, 12 will go to charge your batteries, whereas 12 will go to your loads. So that's why for us we call it utilization and not oversizing. And also we are making sure that our inverters are well compatible with high power panels that are currently in the market. And we have made sure that even our smallest inverters has more of 1 MPPT to make it easy for you to have multi-orientation installation. As you know, in the residential areas, it's a bit challenging to have due to space constraints. And then you need 2 MPPTs to allow you to connect strings from different orientations. So the first one is the ES Unique. And the features I just mentioned, they are all applicable to residential and the C&I section. So the first one is the ES Unique that has a power range of 3 to 12 kilowatt. It has the utilization feature and also compatible with high power panels. You can do up to 6 in parallel. Now, based on the feedback we have received from the market, our research and development team has come up with the ESG3 that we are looking to launch soon. And for this, it's still going to have the utilization feature, and we'll add an extra MPPT and also an extra independent battery port. And this will allow you to connect you can be able to connect different models of batteries as they are independent spots. And meaning you can connect a lithium because they're independent. So that's the one of the feature we are trying to improve on the ESG3. You'll have more power range from 3 to 16 kilowatt. And for this one, you'll be able to do up to 10. Now we have the three-phase low voltage. We call it the ETLV. It has a power range of 5 to 20 kilowatt. It has the PV input utilization feature. It has up to 4 MPPTs and also adaptable to high power panels. And for this one, you can be able to do up to 10 in parallel. And also one good feature about it is that for the 15 and the 20, you have 2 independent battery ports that you can be able to connect in case the client wants to upgrade the energy storage later in the future. You can be able to connect the new batteries to the second port and configure them differently. Our hybrid inverters come microgrid ready, so meaning you can connect a non-grid inverter. Also, you can do diesel generator on them, and also smart load function, whereby you can select grid colors to be supplied to be supplied power in case there is a blackout. If the batteries go to a certain level, then it switches off the non-critical loads. So those are the features that are with the hybrid inverters. So going to the low voltage batteries that we have, and I would say GoodWe only manufactures lithium batteries, and our batteries are only compatible with GoodWe inverters. But our inverters, you can check on the compatibility list if the inverter you want to use is compatible with the battery, that party battery provider. So for our low voltage batteries, they have a nominal voltage of 48 volts and work well with our residential inverter product range. We have the Lynx AG1. And to mention key features of our batteries is that our batteries can be installed, you can mount them on the wall or on the floor, depending on the brackets that you have. And you can be able to store our batteries up to 1 year without needing to charge or discharge them. And another thing is that they have black start capability, meaning in case you're in off-grid and it's evening when you want to commission your system, you can black start the battery and be able to supply power to the inverter and be able to commission your system. So that's the key features that we have for all our batteries. So the G1, you can be able to do up to 15 of them. and this is a 5 kilowatt hour battery, one of it. For the G3, you can be able to do up to 30 of it, of them. So the G3 is an upgrade of the G1. Now, we recently launched the Linksys G4, 16.1 kilowatt hour. And this one you can be able to do up to 30 of them. It has the black start capability, the LCD interactive display. For this one, you have the DC, you have the option of having the aerosol for fire protection. It's an optional feature that you can opt to have it supplied with the battery. And now we have the inbuilt DC breaker, whereby in case of anything, the breaker inside inbuilt in the battery can be able to trip and isolate the system. Another one that we are looking to launch is the Linksys G4, 5 or 10 kilowatt hour. It has also the inbuilt DC breaker, and this one has the DC to DC module, meaning you can be able to mix in parallel all the new batteries, which has been a challenge in the market. And also you can be able to connect battery in case they are of different state of charge, you can be able to connect them in parallel and they'll be able to adjust. So those are the key features we have for the residential energy storage batteries. Diving into the commercial industrial system, we have the C&I on-grid, or the well-known as the grid-tie system. We have the first one, the SDT G3, and I'll say the key feature for these ones is that for these ones, if you do now the oversizing, you'll be able to get a 10% more of the inverter capacity. So if you do a 180% PV oversizing on a SDT G3 50 kilowatt, you'll get 10% more of the 50 kilowatt. And for the on-grid inverters, work with one of the, we have two controllers. We have the SEC 3000 and the SEC 3000C. So for the SEC 3000 controls the on-grid inverters, whereas the SEC 3000C only controls the hybrid and the grid type. So the SEC 3000 cannot control the hybrid inverter. So if you're having hybrid inverters, you need the SEC 3000C. So we have the SDT G3, and it has a power range of 30 to 50 kilowatt. It has 180, you can do up to 180% PV oversizing. We have the SMT G2, 60 to 80 kilowatt. It has a 200% PV input oversizing and up to the 6 MPPTs. You have now the GT, 100 to 150 kilowatt. This one allows 150% PV input oversizing and has up to 10 MPPTs. And all our inverters all these inverters are compatible with high power panels. Then we have the C&I hybrid inverters, starting up with the ET series. The ET series has a power range of 25 to 50 kilowatt. And for this one, it uses the external static transfer switch, or the STS. It's external, and you'll need each and every inverter will need its own STS. It has the same hybrid feature that I had communicated before, the 200 PV input utilization. You have up to 4 MPPTs and one battery port, and you can be able to do up to 10 with the SEC 3000C. Now, based on the feedback that we have received from the market, some clients would want to have the STS inbuilt. We are now looking to launch the ETG3 that has a power range of 25 to 50 kilowatt. It will have the same hybrid features of the 200 PV input utilization. You have an extra MPPT and also adaptable to high power panels. You'll also have an extra battery port, and you'll be able to do up to 10 using the SEC 3000C. We have another range of high capacity hybrid inverter, the ET75 to 100 kilowatt. It has the same 200 PV input utilization, up to 8 MPPTs, 2 battery ports independent, and as I explained, and you can do up to 10 using the SEC 3000C. We are looking to launch another high capacity hybrid inverter, the ETR125, and it has 200% PV utilization. You'll get up to 10 MPPTs, high power panel adaptable, but for this one, you will have 1 battery port, and now you can do up to 10 using the SEC 3000C. For the ET75 to 100, utilizes an external STS, but the good thing with this one is that you don't need to have an independent STS for each inverter. So you have 3 categories. So if you are doing one, you'll need one in the STS of 125 kilowatt. If you are doing 3, you'll need one STS of 375 kilowatt. If you are doing up to 6, you'll need an STS of 750 kilowatt. So, or in parallel. So it's one STS to serve around either 1 or 2 or 1 or 3 or 6 of the ET75 for 100 kilowatt. So that's the difference between the ET series and the ET75 to 100 kilowatt. So going to the high voltage C&I batteries, we have the BATS 51 or stroke 56.3 S56.3 kilowatt hour. It's an indoor battery. It's a tower, as you can see, and you can be able to do up to 6 and up to 6. I mean, and for each and every pack, each and every tower, you can do up minimum of 5 packs and a maximum of 11 packs. Then we have the outdoor one, the BAT C 102 or the 112 kilowatt hour. It's indoor, and you can do up to 4 of them. But it's outdoor. Sorry, the BAT S is the indoor. The BAT C 102 and 112 is the outdoor, and you'll be able to do up to 4. And you can be able to mount the ET series inverter or the ET 100 on the side of it. And now we recently launched the BAT C208 or 261. It's an outdoor, and this one is liquid cooled, and you'll be able to do up to 4 clusters. For this one, will work well with the ETR 125 that we are looking to launch, and now the ETG3 or the ET100. Then we are looking to launch the BATS 64 kilowatt hour. For this one, you'll be able to do up to 4 towers. And then now we have the all-in-one AC coupled. We call it our PCS. We call it the ESA 125 kilowatt or 261. It for the battery pack is liquid cooled, and the PCS is forced air cooled. And for this one, you can do up to 20 of them. And in case you want to incorporate you can incorporate this one with the GP on grid series and introduce an STS 500, and you'll be able to have now to have a microgrid solution. So once you introduce the GT on grid inverter to this one and the STS, then you'll be able to achieve the microgrid inverter. So this is our all-in-one C&I PCS. Then, as I said, our vision and mission is to drive world energy, smart energy. So we have come up with the SEMS Plus 2.0, and this is a platform where all our products are monitored. And this platform has been made from the feedback we have received from our clients. And the key features is that we have made sure that we have given you the power on your hands so that you can be able to have full control of your plant or your system from wherever you are, be it a phone or a laptop. So, and the key features is that you can be able to do any settings of any device you have installed and from your SEMS Plus. You can be able to commission your system from the SEMS Plus. You can be able to update your firmware from the SEMS Plus of your devices. And we have incorporated the AI function whereby it gives you the health diagnosis. And in case there is an issue, the system will give you the guidelines on how you can troubleshoot and what could have caused it. And also we have made the display the display more visual, and we have introduced the liquid glass design technology whereby it gives you the flow chart as how the power is flowing from either your batteries, from your panels to your inverters and loads. You have dark and light mode for easy or comfortability of your eyes. And also you can be able to raise even your RMA or your after sale ticket from the SEMS Plus, and also get news from GoodWe through the SEMS Plus. So it's an all-in-one to make it easy for you to interact with GoodWe and also to interact with your system. So all our systems are monitored on this platform and is fully developed by GoodWe. It's not third party. So you can find this on Apple Store or Play Store, or you can just log in from your browser and you can be able to access it. Then looking on the case studies, we have residential hybrid system case studies, and we have installed an ES Unique and LinkSage G3 batteries in Kilifi. We have also done in the residential in Sagana using the ES Unique and the LinkSage G1. We have done one in Ghana using the US Unique and the LinkSage G1. We have done another one in Ghana using the the AES Unique and the Leaks AG1, and also one of the former model or on-grid model, the HT. And for the C&I hybrid systems, we have done one in Athi River in a manufacturing facility where we have the C&I high volt, the ET series 50 kilowatt, STS and 351 batteries, 51.2 kilowatt hour, 3 of them. We have done another one in Roy, and it's ET series 50 kilowatt. We're A plus STS and but 51.2 kilowatt hour. We have done another in South Africa using the ET series 50 kilowatt and the Link C 100 kilowatt hour outdoor in Johannesburg. Another one in Ghana using the BAT C 100 and the ET 50 plus STS. We have done another one in Kumasi, Ghana, 2 ET series 50 kilowatt, 2 STSs, and 2 BAT S 50 kilowatt. We have done another in Nigeria using ES Unique and Lynx AG3. And in Ethiopia, 12 kilowatt ES Unique and Lynx AG1. This was in a bank. And another one in a bank using Lynx ES Unique and Lynx AG1. This one are banks in Ethiopia. And one thing to mention about inverters, due to their low noise levels, due to the smart cooling, they are adaptable to office installation, government, or hospital, because we use a very different technology that makes the inverters more quiet. So it's easy for you to install them in any environment that's official, and also the IP65. So that's why you see that banks have started adopting our products because of the technology we use, and our fans speed runs as per the internal temperature of the inverter. And this is also supported by the semiconductor technology that we use. So that's why you see our products being installed in sensitive facilities. So Salim, that's all from my side. Maybe you can take it up from there.
Yeah, it was very amazing. It was very amazing, and yes, you really managed to respect the timing as well. So before I even jump into the conversation that we are planning to have, I will just request you to turn off your mic and your camera so that I can take Cynthia to deliver this amazing presentation with us. Cynthia, you can join us.
Sure, thank you.
And please let me know if you can see the screen.
I can see the screen. Yes, I can.
Perfect.
Yeah. We can just, I think, jump to the next slide, please. Yeah, so I think I had mentioned earlier just a bit of who Kerea is, and as I said, we are a business member organization. We were founded in 2002, and this was through the technical committee in Kenya Bureau of Standards. And we, again, as I said, we are really a conduit between the private and the government, private sector, and the government and the regulators in the renewable energy space. So basically what Kerea does, number one, is advocacy and policy influence. And there are specifically some wins that we've had in the industry, which I think I'll speak about as I move on ahead. Our key responsibility surely is to ensure that we have an enabling environment, business environment, that is, just ensuring that we have policies that are good for the industry, and we really try our best to push as hard as we can. B2B linkages, meetings here and there with manufacturers and our members, and also just opening doors to the public in terms of how to be able to find other manufacturers and be able to engage in one way or another, both in terms of products and in terms of access to finance and market development and intelligence. This is through working with other organizations because we also do a lot of collaborations, capacity building too, and consumer awareness and education. Next, please. Yeah, so just an overview of Kenya's energy landscape. Ideally, about 90% of our electricity comes from renewable sources. Number one is geothermal, which I'm sure we're all aware, wind, solar, and hydro, but geothermal takes up the biggest chunk of this. Our peak electricity, the demand currently as at August last year, that is, actually this is a bit outdated, is 2.3 6 gigawatts, and in terms of our battery energy storage systems, which is within our national energy plan, is about 250 megawatts. We are headed into 100% clean power target by 2030. That is what the government has put in as a target, and as a renewable energy ecosystem, I think we are all working towards that. Hence, having GoodWe, and the other players within the space. There are, of course, a bit of challenges that we are facing on the path to net zero. Much as we are doing advocacy work, of course, we still have some regulatory barriers, which we are consistently working on to ensure that we make the business environment more enabled. There is also huge discussions around finance and market access. Finance actually stands out. That's one big challenge that whenever you speak to players within the space, the finance topic will not fail to come up. And again, through our collaborations with other partners, we're doing that, just trying to ensure that we have those ongoing conversations and inviting the right people into the room to have these conversations, just to enable us also to be able to check the boxes in terms of a distributor or a player in the industry to be able to check the boxes in terms of how to access finance, so that now they are able to know, to have a wholesome experience and visibility on what is expected. Energy technology access, I think we've just had from GoodWe, and I would wish that we have much more of these conversations. Sometimes there's a disconnect between the two, because it is what it is. We are still developing. We are really trying to run the race, but I know we've really gone ahead. But saying quality and affordable renewable energy technologies still remain out of reach for many. Capacity gaps, and that goes down to the skills and knowledge shortfalls. Hence, conversations on knowledge transfer, as just what you've just had right now, and possibly just to take it a notch higher in terms of the technical bit of the knowledge. Next, please. Looking at battery storage standards, where Kenya stands, I think what exists, again, in just a nutshell, is we've tried to develop and support the solar technology standards by working together with Kenya Bureau of Standards. Hence, my introduction by saying that KEREA was founded through the Kenya Bureau of Standards Technical Committee. Energy, that is a grid connection and regulations 2025 mandate, cybersecurity protocols for distributed storage systems, so that those are what exists currently. The LCPDP stands at 250 megawatts base, included in Kenya long-term power development plan, that is 2021 to 2030. Of course, World Bank through K&M advisors engage to develop a private sector battery energy storage system market participation framework, and AFSEC harmonized Africa Battery Energy Storage System standards. Adoption expected post 2028. But just looking at an industry as an industry representative, what you're saying is still needed, even with what we see that exists or is on paper, is that A comprehensive base regulatory framework is required. That is procurement rules, tariff structures, and revenue models for developers. Safety standards, performance standards are also, wishy-washy, but I think, sorry about that, but I think a lot needs to be put in place also. Defining ancillary services to enable base operators to really monetize grid stabilization services, public-private partnerships, and also targeted capacity building for regulators, for EPC contractors, financiers, and end users. Really, we're saying like a wholesome capacity building required because we each have our individual needs depending on which side of the corner we belong. Next, please. So on the market trends, we've clearly seen C&I residential demand surging. And this is because of our grid unreliability and hence driving businesses and households into just ensuring that they are going the route of C&I. So it's kind of, we are forced to, in a way, and if I'm able to afford, then that's the way to go. The lithium ion takes lead here. I think we've seen that with what we've just heard from GoodWe, and we're saying it's safer. It is affordable. Cheaper is not the word. It's affordable. And it's better for hot climates. But of course, a lot needs to go into understanding, how to use the product, the applications, etc. That comes along with the installations, etc. Kenya is leading in East Africa. And we hold about 10 to 15% of our base market. And this is driven by our wind integration needs, mini grids, and C&I installations, which are, like I've said, we've seen quite a demand surging. Off-grid mini grid scale fasts, containerized base. I think that we've seen them in the market recently, and I think this aligns with also our pure programs and just ensuring that we are also feeling safe in terms of how all this is handled. Sorry about that. Can you make your screen slightly bigger, Salim? I think I missed out something. Yeah. And then we are also, no, that's too big. Yeah. And then you're also saying the PPAs, they are now bankable, but you're saying there's much more to be done, and this needs concerted efforts put together just to ensure that we are all the 4 to 8 hour solar storage systems, offering firm and peak hour supply at competitive costs. Next, please. Salim, next slide. Yeah. So some of the achievements that we've had, which also actually even up to recent, which is last week, is tax exemptions. We've championed this through the years. And we've actually seen just recently where now the current finance bill, speaking of moving products from VAT exempt, from zero rated to VAT exempt, and we were able to put in our submissions and do what you have mandated us to do in terms of just pushing up, doing a lot of advocacy work just to ensure that you have enabling environment and business environment that is. We've supported companies through networking and market linkages. This is through the B2B engagements that we do, the networking events that we have, and bringing different people in the room to be able to have conversations with the members and non-members who we occasionally invite into our forums. We've contributed highly into the national policy and regulatory dialogues, and including also national energy policy, the current one, and also just going down into the integrated ones and pushing it through also to ensure that the counties are also accommodated and aligned with the expectations that are at the national level. Our national reach through our Solar Mkononi digital platform. We have a digital platform that we're launching soon, but it's already operational, a few things in place happening. So you can see that USST digital platform there, the code. Also sector unity built. We come a long way with other associations just to ensure that we are pushing the industry, we are pushing the government, we are pushing the market towards the same direction, just to ensure that even the end user is actually really taken care of. And those are quite some wins that we've seen because of the collaborations within the space. Our active programs right now, we're looking at standards and quality verification of some solar products. It's still ongoing. This is together with CLASP. We are also doing the Solar Mkononi campaign, which I've just explained earlier. We are also taking part in the Power for Food partnership, where we are now going deeper into the counties to just ensure that productive use of renewable energy is adapted within the county energy policies. And we are also just creating awareness within the counties on that. And this is also in terms of putting together regenerative agriculture and productive use of renewable energy. Regenerative agriculture basically is a lot to do with the soil health. So just being healthy throughout around the whole value chain, from planting into how you use the product, and economically everything else are really covered under one roof. We're also doing a lot of B2B engagements through Kenya-China partnership. That's through WRI, and scaling up productive use of renewable energy. This is a program we've had for the past 1.5 to 2 years, which we have been touching on different thematic areas, hence the conversations in the room with our members and non-members, and those that we bring into the room to just keep having these conversations in terms of engaging and enlightening us, or rather the industry, on what's happening and the next steps and the, how things are coming up, and what really needs to be done. And these engagements also, like I said before, some of them also include capacity building sessions. Next, please. But I think I'm done with my slides. Yes. So some of the partners that we're actively working with are SNV CLASP, EED, Strathmore University, Intersolar, CREA, GIZ, Google, CCK, and the rest. Policymakers, financiers, and developers. And we encourage you to check into our website to get in touch with us, just in case you need to have more information in terms of anything that you really want to know, that is we are doing in terms of enabling the business environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So it was very amazing, and we are moving to the discussion. I hope Daniel, can you join us now? Okay. So thank you both of you for this amazing presentation, and I would request the audience to use the Q&A for raising questions, because I'm seeing lots of you connecting and asking questions from the chat, and we cannot properly pick them. Before picking questions from the audience, we would like to make a conversation to understand the perception of both of you. Because here we have GoodWe, who is an OEM, and then we have Carrier, who is acting as the voice of the industry. So just to understand a little bit, back in the day, renewable energy were mainly seen as, were mainly motivated due to the power outages. We couldn't rely to the grid. That's why people were mainly motivated to venture into renewable energy, specifically solar. And we have seen some countries with severe load shedding issue. But now we are discussing about residential and commercial industry. So this is a question that I would like to address both of you to understand the perception from the OEM and also the perception from the carrier. So what is the main motivation nowadays to the specific segments, which is the residential and commercial? Because I believe now it's not more about load shedding or grid unreliability. So from what you have seen with the data that you collect from Korea and all the analysis that you make, what is now the main or the motivation that are triggering those segments to venture and to adopt more and more solar and storage solutions? I will start with Cynthia from Korea.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. Really, the market has evolved from, basic lighting, because in the past it was just, I'm buying solar for lighting. I'm buying solar for lighting. And it's moved from that. And at that point, actually, if I could go back, it was more of it was largely donor driven, because looking at the off-grid sector, which was basically about lighting at the time, but now we have matured, we've moved into, saying this the C&Is, and just other forms of solar applications that we have, which are not yet at the C&I level. It's increasingly adopted not because of access, but one, we are looking at cost savings because of the electricity costs, which of course we keep saying it's going up by the day. Looking at security of energy and sustainability, but generally we are looking more into what more can I do with power. We've seen productive use of renewable energy conversations that you're having. And you're saying this goes much beyond lighting. We're saying it goes much beyond saying that I just don't want to look at lighting alone, but I'm saying, how can I improve my life? How can livelihoods be improved by having, power, by having more sustainable power? And even when you go deeper, like into even other solutions, you're seeing things like solar water heating, which are now being used in hotels, not just in our home settings, but in hotels, in very remote places where you didn't even, people had not thought of that. So a lot has gone into, sorry, into what more can I do with power? And I think that's a driver to it all. When I look at how the industry has evolved, and this growth, this shift really reflects the maturity in the growth. I'll leave it at that. Maybe Daniel can chime in.
Yeah, just Daniel, before you can unmute your microphone, I will just stay with the same thematic of what Cynthia addressed, but I will narrow your intervention a little bit on the residential and farming, because several of the case study that you just presented in your that you presented are mainly from the homeowner, the residential, and for the farmers. Yet we also know that there are very big consumer of energy, such as mining company and data center. But with the farmers, for example, what is the biggest challenge and concern that your customer faces when you approach them?
Okay, I would say I would say what has happened actually for the last because the way the market was 13 years ago is not the same way it is right now, and I would say people have known solar because 13 years ago, if you would tell someone that solar would be installed and run your home, the whole of your home, or maybe your industry, that could look like you are a joker. But right now, people have known solar. They have acknowledged solar.
I will not lie to you before. If you tell me solar, I will just see solar panels. This is the only thing
Yes,
that's ringing
yes.
before.
Yeah, and actually, I remember also even I would say actually 13 years ago, I remember I visited a factory to convince them on having solar, and the senior engineer there told me, "How can you connect a non-grid system directly to the bus bar without a changeover?" And I was like, "You guys want to blow my factory?" So, but you see right now, it's well known, and also I would say the technology has really evolved, and in technology regarding the solar panels, because right now you're having even 750 and watt peak, and is readily available. And also the technology of the inverters. I think the 13 years ago, the largest inverter was around 20 kilowatt or 15, and it was very expensive. And also, so the evolvement of technology have made it easier for the products to be accessible and cheap. That is for the residential, and also the knowledge and acknowledging that solar can work. When you come to the C and I would say nowadays you see it the initial investment was very high. So there is right now we have financiers that assist in financing these projects, and it makes it easy for a facility to go into an agreement with the financier and have the project, and they pay as they consume. So that has really pushed, especially on the C&I section, and actually also having the pride of the facility going out to the market and saying our products are manufactured using green energy. So, and also the the carbon credits that happen, especially to the nationals. So it has really pushed the C&I section that was actually lagging behind because of the initial investment. Also, the battery technology for the past 5 years has been lagging behind, but we can see now it's catching up, which I think is also accelerated by the EV mobility. So the battery technology is really evolving, because the way a lithium battery used to cost, and the technology that was used before, it's really different, and this technology is keeping evolving. So the battery technology is also catching up with the panels and the inverters that make up the whole storage system. So these have been the key accelerating points for the renewable for the consumption of solar products.
Okay. Moving now, a specific question to Cynthia, because I also wanted really to understand it, because we know Kenya has a hub, has a financial hub, has a hub of many things. But again, here we are talking about solid storage, and from your presentation, I'm just understood that Kenya is estimated to account for 15 to 10% of the Africa battery storage market, which I can consider it again as a hub for the region. So, what has enabled Kenya again to emerge as a regional hub in this space?
Thank you. I think there are several factors that I would look at here. So one, really, we are highly entrepreneurial. that's where I would start from. With these, Kenyans are highly entrepreneurial, and the solar industry is, and we've seen consistently pioneering new business models. And just going back, most of these conversations started with pay while you go, pay as you go financing, which really evolved quickly because we had so many social enterprises coming into the space. And then now having also conversations, like I said, on productive use of energy solutions are coming up. We are looking at also people coming up with other innovative ways of financing, which I think Daniel has just mentioned about other ways of financing that people are also looking at. And with this, I think it's created basically like I would say like a natural pathway to to the adoption, to the storage adoption. Additionally, I would also say that our increased demand on grid reliability is a concern because of the rising energy costs. And so we are pushed to really move that direction of I must have storage. I must have storage. I need to have storage for my industry. I need to have storage for a hospital. I need to have storage for my own home, just in case of power cuts or something like that. And then there's also growing consumer awareness. So all this put together, we're saying these are contributing to a stronger demand for storage solutions in Kenya. And we've also developed an ecosystem where the government, industry associations, such as KEREA and others that we collaborate with, and financial institutions and also technology players are actively collaborating just to ensure that there's a lot of awareness creation that is happening. And of course, if I see my neighbor coming up with something and they're not suffering the way I'm suffering, of course, that pushes me to be able to want to do more. But it goes down to, is it affordable? Yes. Is it adaptable? Yes. Do you have support systems? Do you have after sale service? Do you have qualified technicians or technicians who are well trained to also help just ensure that we are safe and we have proper sizing, etc., and installations? Yes. So I think a lot of factors put together, and the resilience and the entrepreneurial spirit that we have in Kenya has put all this together and made us really move to the next level in terms of really being up there.
Yeah, and you're totally right. I happen to come to Kenya sometimes, and people are aggressive. Even young people, even the generation, they are very aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are very aggressive. Yeah. So, Daniel, coming back to you, you just highlighted that Kenya has a foundation for solar standards. But again, you say that Kenya still lack that dedicated base regulatory framework. So, from your hand as an OEM, what is the most urgent regulatory gap that needs to be addressed?
For me, I would say the gap that's there is that how do we incentivize? How does the government incentivize the usage of solar? And there has been a framework that has been going on for the last 13 years in regards to the net metering, whereby you can be able to generate power and sell to the utility company here in Kenya. But now, I would say if that policy is really sped up, because it has been there for 13 years, since 2013, and if that's enacted, actually, people are ready. People are really ready from the C&I and residential, because I would say most of the residentials, most of the C&I, you meet, when is this policy going live? Because at the moment they're in the implementation stage. So if that is actually implemented, that can really push this type of renewable energy, and it will bridge that gap. And actually, I would say everyone is waiting for that gazettement. Yeah.
All right. So it was very interesting. And now I think we should also take some questions from the audience. And I believe some Kenyans are here because the questions are aggressive. So, Cynthia, this is a very interesting question to you, coming from Elvis, who is with us here. Elvis is asking a direct question to KEREA to understand what is KEREA doing to address the KPLC curve on solar sizing, where they have limited solar installation to just residential power supply and no chance for surplus selling to KPLC to not only be a source of some income, but also contribute to the grid power. I did not clearly understand the question, but I think you might understand what he meant by that. Cynthia, can you unmute your microphone, please?
Yeah. Thank you, Elvis. Like I said, and I think that is also connected with what Daniel is talking about, net metering. we've been having several conversations within the industry as a whole, now not only Kerea, but also other stakeholders within the energy sector, looking at how to bring us together and really have these conversations. Honestly, I do not want to speak on behalf of KPLC at this point, but I can tell you these are conversations that are still ongoing, and it's getting to that point where we all agree that really this is where this cuts off, and this is where we proceed with just ensuring that solarization, sizing, and the installations can go up to this point is really it's really a difficult conversation, because we also realize that we still have last mile distribution as a program that is also going on. So I'd really say it's not yet at a mature place to like give clear answers to this, because of the deliberations that have been ongoing. Yeah, I'm just hoping that sooner we can come to a point where the public can be can be clearly advised on where the mandate ends and what the solar bit of solarization goes out there. Yeah. I do not want to speak on behalf of KPLC. I'm really being very cautious with my words because of the several conversations in the different spaces. But keep in touch with us, Elvis. Mr. Waiganjo, Elvis, yes. In case of any updates, for sure, we'll be able to bring you up to speed. Yes.
All right, thank you very much, Cynthia. And coming back to Daniel, another question from the audience from Kiran, even though she did not mention or forgot to mention the name of the company, but she's speaking about some of the projects. Some of the projects require inventor to sustain overload of up to 30 minutes. So she wants to understand if your inverter, if you can confirm that the overload rating of your model can sustain that 30 minutes. She gave an example. For example, can 50 kilowatts inventor deliver 60 kilowatts 120% continuously for 30 minutes without derating? I think this is very technical.
Okay, I would say the 50 kilowatt supports the 1.5 of the inverter capacity for 10 seconds. That's on off grid. And for on grid, yes, it can support. If it's on grid, then it can be able to support for that duration of time.
All right. Another question also from Paul, who is asking if what are the battery DOD and SOC?
The battery, the DOD, the depth of discharge you can do up to 90% for on grid, and you can be able for off grid you can do up to 80%, and for the COC you can charge them up to 100%.
All right. So two last question addressed to both of you before we close this webinar. Very conscious of time. So yes, both of you have highlighted the importance of policy, standards, technology, and market development. So in your view, what is the single most important action needed today to accelerate the adoption of residential and commercial solar plus storage? Like the most important action needed today from your point of view? And I will start with Daniel. Sorry, Daniel, you can unmute your microphone.
Okay. I would say the most needed action, I would say, like for today to accelerate this. Yes, the government have done its part on having zero rated or exempted the solar products, that is the panels, the inverters, and I would say also if the accessories that support the installation of the system can also be considered to at least make the whole package more affordable for that, because yeah, the main components are exempted, but now there's the accessories now that make up the whole systems. If that can also be considered and checked to make it easy for to make it easy and cheaper for these products to be to be purchased by the consumer. That would
All
really
right.
help. Yeah.
Cynthia, over to you. The most important action needed to accelerate the adoption of residential and commercial solar plus storage.
Um, Having spoken about what Korea does, and
Yeah.
a lot on the policy advocacy and the wins that we've had in the past few years in terms of enabling the business environment, including the lithium ion battery and other solar batteries. I also, to Daniel, first and foremost, I hear you, and I wish that you would have more engagement from here and just to understand the specifics that you have. But I know it's a tougher conversation because these are things we keep talking about. Anyway, I think what the government needs to do more, besides now what Daniel has said, is to also push the narrative out there in terms of awareness creation. We are doing our part, but also the government to to also push it harder out there that in order for us to have a net zero, we clean environment, green, 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 can we as a country keep adapting and adapting and adapting? So they also need to speak louder. We are doing our part. The private sector, individuals are doing their part, and the organizations, but can the government also have this narrative really going out there? Because we also want to get there at 2030 to be at 100%, So for me, that's the biggest that I really want to see the government also really coming up, because then people will believe more of what the private sector is saying and is doing when they also hear the government echoing the same.
All right. Last question before we close this, a tradition here with us at Afia. We always like our audience to leave a webinar with a takeaway. So moving to the takeaway, because we spoke about the past, the reason why renewable energy, in our case, solar plus storage, were motivated to be adopted by different stakeholders, CNI or from the utility scale. Now we also spoke about what is happening currently, the need that is currently, and speaking about the future. If you could leave our audience with one key message about the future of residential and commercial solar and storage in East Africa, what would it be? I will start with you, Cynthia.
Come again, sorry?
I mean, referencing to what we spoke about the past and the current stage of the adoption of solar and storage to our commercial and residential customer. So if you could leave our audience with one key message about the future of residential and commercial solar and storage in East Africa, what would it be?
I think it's the way to go, really. We know we need power for our livelihoods. Like we said, it's no longer about lighting, but there's much more into what we are doing. So improve our economical status, as individuals, as a country, as families. We need to really adapt. There's no two way. We are not going back. We are not in the development stage, but the same, we are scaling up what's already there. So I'll just encourage that we really adapt and adapt and adapt. Yeah.
Daniel, the future of residential and commercial.
I would say the future is there, because I would say right now, everyone constructing a house or anyone setting up an industry, there is that consideration of having solar incorporated in their facility. And as Cynthia said, solar is the future in terms pertaining to energy production. Imagine just having your roof generate power for you. So instead of sitting there idle. So it's the future, and the technology is catching up. And I would say as we are moving to that future, I would say GoodWe is the good choice.
All right. Thank you very much, Daniel, Cynthia, for your time and for this amazing presentation, as well as a big thanks to our participant and different intervention that you had in the Q and in the chat. Even though we couldn't pick all of them, but we will make sure to share them with our speaker, and maybe they could follow up with you. And I wanted also to remind you to join us again, because tomorrow we will have another amazing discussion focus on the West African side, where we will talk about a topic which will be about reducing energy costs with solar battery storage and intelligent generator integration. Thank you once again, and I'm looking forward to seeing you and discussing with you again tomorrow. Have a good rest of the day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Salim.
Welcome.
Thank you, Salim.